You're listening to the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network, home of the #1 sports talk show on the planet, The Doug Stewart Show.
This is a revolution in radio, the realest, trillest sports talk show in America, The Doug Stewart Show.
Broadcasting live Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to noon Eastern Time, exclusively on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network.
This is sports talk for the people.
Follow Stewart Media and Entertainment right now on Facebook to stay connected and locked in for upcoming events like the Couples and Cocktail Series, viewing parties, and much, much more. Up next, get ready to ride raw with the Doug Stewart Show.
This is sports talk with hot sauce, Texas Pete hot sauce, the Doug Stewart Show.
Exclusively on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network.
Yes! Fantasy sports fans are winning huge cash prizes every day at DraftKings.com, America's favorite place to play daily fantasy sports. Daily fantasy means no season-long commitments. Play whenever you want. Just pick your sport and draft your team. It's like a new season every time you play, so you're never stuck with the same players. Last year, $300 million were won at DraftKings.com, and you could be next to win big. Go to DraftKings.com now and enter promo code STEW to play for free. That's STEW for free entry now at DraftKings.com. Also, if you use promo code STEW, DraftKings will match your initial deposit up to $600. Deposit $600, play with $1,200. DraftKings.com, promo code STEW.
At Ticket Liquidator, we believe you should have access to the experiences you want to be a part of. Since 2003, Ticket Liquidator has been connecting buyers and sellers with the most sought-after and often sold-out events across the country. Ticket Liquidator's nationwide network gives you access to one of the largest online inventories of sports, theater, and concert tickets, with prices lower than most companies in other markets. And our security policies are solid, so you can buy with absolute confidence. More tickets, better service, and lower prices, so you can witness the best entertainment, culture, and sports events worldwide. At Ticket Liquidator, we know that seeing a legend bring down the house or watching your team win the championship is about more than a ticket. It's about being there. For all your sports and entertainment ticket needs, call us at 855-638-3034. Again, that's 855-638-3034.
Hey, wait, get your hands off that dial. Now, today's show isn't live, but it's kind of live. As a matter of fact, it's very live. Yes! This is a rebroadcast of the Doug Stewart Show. Don't turn the dial. Stay here. Yeah, the Doug Stewart Show.
Doctor, this is the mayor talking.
All right.
Doctor,
Come on, what?
always do the right thing.
If you came here to hear for fake, you are in the wrong place. We are for real around here. We keeps it real. This is the Doug Stewart Show, the livest, the realest, the trillest sports talk show in America. Are you not entertained? This is Sports Talk with Hot Sauce, Texas Pete Hot Sauce, the Doug Stewart Show. Yeah! Game time. Yes, sir! Ha-ha! Woo! It's game time, baby. What's happening? Welcome to the Doug Stewart Show. Fantastic, freaky, funny Football Friday. Thank you so much for joining your boy. I really do appreciate it. Man, we're going to have a good time today, as we do every day. But today we're going to have a really good time. But let's bring that back one more time. Let's bring it back. Let's bring it back. Let's bring it back. Woo! 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 In the immortal words of the great Ric Flair, woo! Ha ha! Yes, sir! Yes, sir! Welcome to the Doug Stewart Show. The number to the show is 404-382-0338. You can also email me at Doug@thedugstewartshow.com. Thank you so much for joining your boy. Once again, a fantastic, funny, football, freaky Friday. All of that alliteration. And we got a lot lined up for you today, man. A lot lined up for you today. Obviously, we're going to talk about the NFL's Hall of Fame induction ceremony this weekend. A couple of cats are going in that, a couple in particular, man, I think should have been in a long time ago. But we'll talk about that a little bit later on today's show as well. We'll talk some NFL. We'll talk about the Oakland Raiders. We're going to talk about the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets and our preseason football reports type thingies or whatever we're doing on the Doug Stewart Show. Floyd Mayweather is in the news, some NFL conversation, some other NFL conversation concerning Tom Brady. Who else? Brandon Marshall. So it's a lot of little things we'll get in today on the show, man. Thank you so much for joining your boy. If you're new to the show, welcome. Welcome to the Doug Stewart Show. What you need to do is you need to follow me on Spreaker.com. So go to Spreaker.com, hit the little follow button on the Doug Stewart Show, and bam. So whenever I do a live show, you get an alert. You're alerted that the show has gone live. Now, today we're doing it from 9 to 11 a.m., but it normally comes on from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern time, all right? So we'll start that back Monday. Today and yesterday, I had to change the time. I have to get out a little bit early, doing some things for Aspire, the Aspire Network. Me and the great Rashawn Ali, who lives here in Atlanta, well-known media person as well. So I had to change the schedule of the show today and yesterday. But Monday, once again, I'm reminding you, Monday the show will be back at its normal time, 10 a.m. in the morning to 12 p.m. Eastern time, okay? So follow the show on Spreaker, and then there's a little chat bubble. You click on that little chat bubble, and bam, you're introduced to a whole new world of sports chat. And I call its inhabitants the Stewies. Yes, sir! The greatest sports chat room in the history of sports chat rooms ever. In the history of it. All right, so what you do is you go in there, whatever we're talking about on the show, you give me your take, your opinion, and I read that all throughout the show. You're kind of like my co-host. You're kind of like my wingman on the Doug Stewart Show, okay? So you start a little conversation, and then we, it's interactive, and we respond to it, and we have a good time with it. All right, so 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Not only do we have the interactive thing in the chat room, but we old school as well. You can give me a call. You can give me a call at 404-382-0338. You can also email me, once again, that's a little bit less old school, at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. As I mentioned, preseason football reports, Georgia Tech today, and the Oakland Raiders, who have, are you talking about good, and then you're talking about bad? Georgia Tech is on the uptick, man. I mean, a lot of people are even saying Georgia Tech's got a real shot to be in that Final Four playoff thing at the end of the year, and maybe even shock the world and possibly even be in the conversation to win a national championship. All right, the show is based here in Atlanta, Georgia. My brother went to Georgia Tech. I mentioned this during the Periscope. Georgia Tech is really responsible for the Stews' existence and being here. It put us in place in Atlanta. My brother went to Georgia Tech, so it put us in Atlanta. I actually moved here after I graduated college, and the reason is when I came to visit my brother a couple times, he took me to this place called Magic City. And so I says, I got to move there. And so, yeah, Georgia Tech, you could say, is responsible for the Two Live Stews and the Doug Stewart Show. Praise God. Praise Georgia Tech. Arian Foster doesn't agree. But so Georgia Tech is on the upswing, and a lot of people think they got a real shot to do some big things this year. And then on the other side of that, like I said, man, the Oakland Raiders. We'll talk about the Raiders. I kind of adopted the Raiders a couple of years ago. I don't know, probably 6 or 7 years ago in the Two Live Stews. Short story, long story short is when I was growing up, I never chose an NFL team. And where I'm from, the state of South Carolina, everybody and their mama pretty much are a Cowboy or a Steeler fan. And I say 90% of the people from the state of South Carolina just adopted the Cowboys. I never did. I never was a fan of the Cowboys. I'm not going to say I was a hater of the Cowboys, but I was never a fan of the Cowboys. And I never had a team I quote, unquote, rooted for, bought one particular team's paraphernalia or anything like that. So a couple of years ago, man, we had like this NFL fandom lottery on the Two Lots News, and I kind of whittled down a team every day, and I ended up with the Oakland Raiders, man. And the reason I did that, I know. I'm a glutton for punishment, huh? The reason I did that, man, it was during the time where, or shortly after when the great Al Davis died. And if you know anything about me, I'm a rebel with a pause. You know, I go against the grain. I always fight City Hall. I'm a maverick, okay? And the great Al Davis was that. A lot of respect for the organization, like the way they used to play football back in the day. They've sucked lemons over the last couple of years, but hopefully they'll turn things around. So today we'll talk a little bit about the Oakland Raiders, all right? 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. The new movie, The Fantastic Four, I believe that comes out today. So what we're going to do today, man, and word on the street is that the movie actually sucks. Yeah. Word on the street is that the movie actually sucks. Now, they've tried to do this movie a couple of times. And the reason they tried to do it, if you're not familiar with comic books, if you don't know anything about comic books, well, I'll tell you right now, the Fantastic Four was probably one of the top 2 or 3, comic book tag team tandems. And what we're going to do today, man, is we'll have a little fun playing with that. We'll talk about the top 5 comic book groups of all times. That's what we're going to do today on the Doug Stewart Show. But word on the street is this Fantastic Four movie sucks. Once again, they've tried to do it a couple of times, and they haven't been able to get it right. And now we're hearing that this movie actually sucks, man. And I don't know. I'm torn because I always go see these movies. I'm a comic book head, grew up with comic books. Actually, the Fantastic Four is probably the second most collected comic book that I collected when I was a kid. Number 1 was the Avengers. I've talked about that before. And number 2 is very close between the Fantastic Four and the X-Men. And so it kind of hurts that they can't get this thing right. And I'm trying to decide whether I'm going to go see it this weekend, and I probably will. And maybe I'll come out of there thinking that it was better than everybody was saying. All of these so-called experts are saying that the movie absolutely sucks. So we'll see, man. We'll see. So we're going to have some fun with that today. Your top 5 comic book superhero groups or teams. We'll have some fun with that today on the Doug Stewart Show. When we get back from the break, though, the NFL Hall of Fame is this weekend, baby. And there's a couple of cats on there that should have been in the Hall of Fame, in my opinion. We'll talk about the class, and we'll do what we do, man, and talk about these hot sports and guy talk and all of that stuff, all right? Once again, the number to the show is 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Ask somebody in the chat room if we don't have fun around here. You ask somebody. The realest, the trillest, the most unfiltered sports talk show in America, the Doug Stewart Show. Boyle Peters Award coming up a little bit later. So I need your nominees. Go to the Doug Stewart Show on Facebook, the group, and give me your nominee for today's Boyle Peters Award. We got a lot going on, man. Sports talk with hot sauce. Don't go anywhere. This is the Doug Stewart Show. First of all, thank you for listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Now, if you've been listening for a while, you know that we've grown exponentially over the first couple of months. Whether that's listens, whether that's followers, we're blowing up, and you can be a part of it. If you have a company out there and you like to promote on the Doug Stewart Show, we'd love to partner with you. Here's what you do. Email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Once again, that's doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Whether that's locally, regionally, or nationally, we can get the word out. What you're talking about is middle-aged dudes that love sports and love exciting sports talk. Once again, email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. That's doug@thedougstewartshow.com, and we will put you out there, all right? That's doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Let's do some business. Yes!
National Debt Relief is one of the country's largest and most reputable debt settlement companies, made up of energetic individuals who are passionate about helping thousands of Americans with debt relief. Most importantly, we're all about helping our customers through a tough financial time in their lives with education and individual customer service. We're dedicated to helping individuals and families rid their lives of burdensome debt. Specializing in debt settlement, and they've also negotiated settlements for thousands of creditor and collection accounts. Providing clients with both expertise and proven results, this means helping customers in time of hardship to get out of debt with the least possible cost. It can also mean conducting financial consultations, educating the customer, and recommending the appropriate solution. Core Services offer debt settlement as an alternative. I repeat, alternative to bankruptcy, credit counseling, and debt consolidation. National Debt Relief is your #1 advocate group to help you reestablish financial stability as quickly as possible. So give us a call at 844-828-4975. Again, that's 844-828-4975, and work it out.
At Ticket Liquidator, we believe you should have access to the experiences you want to be a part of. Since 2003, Ticket Liquidator has been connecting buyers and sellers with the most sought-after and often sold-out events across the country. Ticket Liquidator's nationwide network gives you access to one of the largest online inventories of sports, theater, and concert tickets, with prices lower than most companies in other markets. And our security policies are solid, so you can buy with absolute confidence. More tickets, better service, and lower prices, so you can witness the best entertainment, culture, and sports events worldwide. At Ticket Liquidator, we know that seeing a legend bring down the house or watching your team win the championship is about more than a ticket. It's about being there. For all your sports and entertainment ticket needs, call us at 855-638-3034. Again, that's 855-638-3034.
Are you tired of overpriced cable bills? Looking for something more? Well, fire your cable guy. FireYourCableGuy.com has exclusive offers on satellite television from DirecTV and Dish Network. Prices start at only $19.99 a month. So go online today or find us on Facebook at FireYourCableGuy.com. FireYourCableGuy.com. Satellite television for less.
When my best of shows are better than their live shows, you know they lame as hell, shorty. You're listening to The Doug Stewart Show. Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. Yes, sir. The number to the show is 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Thank you for joining your boy, man. This is a fantastic, funky, freaky football Friday and all of that stuff going on around here, man. This segment is brought to you by Life Journeys, okay? Life Journeys, motivational and inspirational gifts, products created by a woman, Army veteran. Our paths may differ, but the needs are still the same. Inspire, love, and motivate strength. Learn, inspire, forgive, encourage. So check them out online at cafepress.com/Life Journeys. And that's spelled JAFE C-F-E-PRESS. Once again, www.cafepress.com/life journeys. That's JURNES. And make sure and tell them that the Doug Stewart Show sent you. All right? The number to the show is 404-382-0338. Once again, 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Whatever you want to get into today, we can do it. You can email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Whatever you want to get into today, we can talk about it. It's a fantastic, funny, freaky football Friday, so we're going to talk some Georgia Tech football a little bit later. Also, the Oakland Raiders for our preseason football reports. And also, man, some other football news going on is what's going on this weekend in the NFL. And they call it the Pro Football Hall of Fame, but we're talking about the NFL for the most part. But they're going to induct a new class, man. Jerome Bettis, Tim Brown, former Oakland Raiders wide receiver. Very interesting. We talk about the Raiders today. Charles Haley, defensive end, played for the Dallas Cowboys, the San Francisco 49ers. Junior Seau, Will Shields, the guard that used to play for the Kansas City Chiefs for many, many years. Mick Tingelhoff, a center, and these are older cats, Mick Tingelhoff. And Bill Polian is a contributor, as well as Ron Wolf. You know, those guys were GMs for a long, long time in the NFL. Solid class, man. Some glaring conversation, I guess, about this year's NFL class. First of all, Junior Seau, first ballot Hall of Famer. There was actually a huge controversy over the last couple of weeks about would they allow his family to speak at the ceremony, and they've actually backtracked from that policy of just showing a video montage, kind of like history of the player. And they are going to allow Junior Seau's family to speak in his behalf at the Hall of Fame. I think that's a good thing. I think that's a smart thing to do. One of the best linebackers that I've ever seen. Like, if I were to do a top 5 linebackers, NFL linebacker, over the last, 40 years, as long as I've been able to remember football, I think Junior Seau would be in it. I mean, you got Junior Seau, you got Ray Lewis, maybe Mike Singletary, guys like that. Junior Seau was that guy. You talk about speed from sideline to sideline. Definitely deserves to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. Then you got a couple other guys, and Tim Brown and Charles Haley, who I believe should have been in the Hall of Fame. Now, it sometimes depends on who else is going up for the Hall of Fame at the same time as you. And so sometimes these guys just had a bad draw as far as the timing in them getting into the NFL Hall of Fame. But if you remember the 90s, all right, if you remember the late 80s and the early 90s, you know that Charles Haley was a terror. Charles Haley was an absolute terror. And he's kind of like, probably one of the first defensive ends I can remember that's kind of smallish, kind of like an edge rusher. I guess maybe that edge rusher type moniker you had with defensive ends that specifically just went after the quarterback. Guys like you could put in the same category like a Lawrence Taylor type player who, early in their careers, they weren't like defensive end size. They weren't like Reggie White size or Bruce Smith size. They were smaller guys, almost a little bit bigger than a linebacker, or you could say bigger than a linebacker, kind of like hybrids or tweener type players. And Charles Haley was that dude, man. You talk about getting after the quarterback. I thought he should have been in the Hall of Fame a long, long time ago. When you say Charles Haley, you know it's a guy that's going to get the quarterback. Thought he should have been in a long time ago. And Tim Brown might be one of the most recognized Raiders of all times. Put up tremendous numbers throughout his career. Fantastic career in college as well. Wide receiver. He's pretty much the Oakland Raider wide receiver before the end of his career for the 20 years prior, or 15 or so years prior. Tim Brown was that guy, fantastic receiver, guy that returned punts early in his career, did that at Notre Dame as well. I thought he should have been in a long time ago as well. He finally gets in. Congratulations to both of those guys. And the other dude I want to talk about briefly, Will Shields, You know, if you're going to put in offensive linemen, and it's very hard to discern between great offensive linemen, I guess, because we just don't pay attention to offensive linemen to that degree, like the specialty players. Will Shields was dominant. 12 years, Pro Bowler, and fantastic. He was kind of like, you know, the foundation of the Chiefs' offensive line for many, many years. You remember Priest Holmes had all of those great years running behind that offensive line. Willie Rofe came and played for them as well. And Will Shields was a fantastic player, so he deserves to get in, I guess, in relative terms, if you're talking about offensive linemen. Once again, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, we really don't pay that much attention as fans, per se, to offensive linemen. Really, it's the body of work, how many times they made it to the Pro Bowl, how many times they were all pro. You look at their stats as far as pancake blocks, that type of thing. So Will Shields gets in. And the other guy, man, I want to talk about is the great Jerome Bettis. And I call him great. And I want to get your thoughts on this stuff now. I call him great because, you know, he was a very good running back. He was a great running back as far as running backs during his time and during his era. He was. The Bus was a great running back. He was. I don't know if he was that great. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. And he hadn't made it for a couple of years, and this conversation about Jerome Bettis and his statistics and how he measures up with the greats of all times. If you're new to the Doug Stewart Show, I've never heard me talk about this before. My whole thing is this. When you talk about great running backs, okay, it's hard for me to put Jerome Bettis and a Curtis Martin and guys like that in the same Hall of Fame that you put Barry Sanders and O.J. Simpson. You understand what I'm saying? And I've said this many, many times before. I think I'm the first person to say this. It's called the Hall of Fame, not the Hall of Very Good. Jerome Bettis was a solid back, big bruising back, tough as hell. When you talk about the style of running back that Jerome Bettis is or was, it kind of reminds me of a group of running backs, a category of running backs, what I call like the bruising running backs or the mashers. And these are running backs like Earl Campbell, O.J. Anderson. You remember the great O.J. Anderson played for the Giants and for the Cardinals? Maybe John Riggins or something like that. He kind of goes in that group. Very, very good, but I don't know about Hall of Fame good or Hall of Fame great. And I've had time to think about it. I was real adamant about this for many, many years. And when looking back at Jerome Bettis, man, he has a solid career. And it's almost like I also have this another thing, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, where if you just say their name, does it sound like a Hall of Famer or does it sound like a good guy? When I say Jerome Bettis, and I start thinking about his career, the short time he spent when he came out of college from Notre Dame, when he spent with the Rams, and he had that nickname, the Battering Ram. You remember that? And then he went to Pittsburgh, and then he became the Bus. And Jerome Bettis' name kind of rings out. And so I'm a little bit – I've softened up on my stance on Jerome Bettis a little bit. A little bit. So I'm okay with him being in the Hall of Fame. And this is just my personal opinion. You might say I'm crazy. You might be one of those Pittsburgh Steelers fans that have watched this guy a lot more than me and understand the subtleties of what he did on the field. That's fine. I've come around a little bit. But to put him, on the same level, and this is the problem I have with the NFL Hall of Fame and with the NBA Hall of Fame or the Basketball Hall of Fame in general, is when I think Hall of Fame, I think like special. You got to be super duper special, okay? Special. And special to me is O.J. Simpson. Special to me is Tony Dorsett. Special to me is Barry Sanders. Okay, those guys were special. And Jerome Bettis, not as special as those dudes. You feel me? What are your thoughts on that, man? 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Curtis Martin, not as special as those dudes I named earlier. I mean, what are your thoughts on that? Am I wrong? Do you agree with me on the bus, on the battering ram? What are your thoughts? Yes, sir. 404-382-0338. You can also email me at Doug@theDougStewartShow.com. When we get back from the break, man, Floyd Mayweather talks about Andre Berto, his next and maybe final opponent in his illustrious boxing career. We'll talk about that when we get back, and I'll jump into your chat, man. Start reading some of your chat, all right? 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. You can also email me at Doug@theDougStewartShow.com, all right? Don't go anywhere. Sports Talk with Hot Sauce, Texas Pete Hot Sauce. It's the Doug Stewart Show. In life, things happen, good and bad, and being prepared is always important. If you're like me, a husband, a father, and protector of that family tree, then your family is the most important thing in the world. 95 million U.S. adults don't have protection in place. So, what I've done is put my protection in the hands of the largest and number one independent financial services company in North America, and that's Primerica. They look out for middle America because they believe that offering the most competitive premiums only benefits the client and have been doing so since 1977. If you're a parent, husband, or wife and want to discuss options with one of Primerica's top reps, then call my guy, Greg Wynn, at 678-439-7172. Again, that's 678-439-7172, and he'll put your family first. And hey, tell him that Doug Stewart sent you. Yes! This is your boy Doug Stewart, one half of the Two Live Stews. Check out my brand new daily show and podcast that airs live Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. on Spreaker.com. That's the Doug Stewart Show daily at 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Time, live on Spreaker.com. Or check out the podcast anytime, 24/7. If you not stewing, what in the world are you doing?
National Debt Relief is one of the country's largest and most reputable debt settlement companies, made up of energetic individuals who are passionate about helping thousands of Americans with debt relief. Most importantly, we're all about helping our customers through a tough financial time in their lives with education and individual customer service. We're dedicated to helping individuals and families rid their lives of burdensome debt. Specializing in debt settlement, and they've also negotiated settlements for thousands of creditor and collection accounts. Providing clients with both expertise and proven results, this means helping customers in time of hardship to get out of debt with the least possible cost. It can also mean conducting financial consultations, educating the customer, and recommending the appropriate solution. Core Services offer debt settlement as an alternative. I repeat, alternative to bankruptcy, credit counseling, and debt consolidation. National Debt Relief is your #1 advocate group to help you reestablish financial stability as quickly as possible. So give us a call at 844-828-4975. Again, that's 844-828-4975, and work it out.
I mean, even when the show's not live, it's still live. Yes! Yeah, you know what I mean. This is the Doug Stewart Show, a rebroadcast of the Doug Stewart Show. Yeah, that's what it is. Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. Fantastic, freaky, funny Football Friday. Thanks for joining aboard, talking about the NFL Hall of Fame, or the Pro Football Hall of Fame. I always make that mistake. It's the Pro Football Hall of Fame coming up this weekend. Some of the guys that's going into said Hall of Fame. Also, Fantastic Four comes out today. So I'm talking about the top 5 superhero groups / teams of all times. Coming in at number 5 on my list, and I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all don't even know who the hell this particular group that I'm going to name here is. But coming in at number 5 on my list is the Inhumans. And I'm telling you, you pretty much don't know who they are. So it's Black Bolt. He's probably the most famous one. Medusa or Gorgon, Trifton. Who else is in there? Crystal, a chick named Crystal. They come in at number 5 on my list. Once again, I'm starting to look at this list a little bit deeper. And really, there haven't been a lot of great superhero groups of all time now that I'm thinking about it. And I guess if you're a superhero, you probably got an ego. So you probably don't want to work with other people. You probably don't want to work with other superheroes. So coming in at number 5 on my list are the Inhumans. 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Birthdays today, August 7th, 2015. Who do we got here? The great Mike Trout, man. I saw last night on that baseball show on Puppet Factory. They had like a little round table. And they were talking about, what was it, Baseball Tonight, comes on right before SportsCenter. They were talking about Mike Trout's greatness, outfielder for the California Angels, or what was it, Anaheim Angels now. And they were saying this guy, man, projecting, his projection right now, he might be one of the top 2 or 3 baseball players to ever walk. I mean, they kind of intimated that Mike Trout, after it's all said and done, if he can stay healthy, based on the numbers he's been putting up the first couple of years of his career, he might end up being the best baseball player of all time. I mean, that's saying a lot. That's saying a lot. Like, some of the numbers dude are putting up right now are just astronomical. It's crazy. So Mike Trout has a birthday today, man. He turns 23 years old. Happy birthday to him, to that youngin'. 23 years old. Lord have mercy. The man's been up for the MVP every year. The man's been close to getting, winning the Triple Crown every year. I mean, the man is a 5'2" player. Tremendously athletic, has it all. And like I said, last night they were talking about this guy in tremendous terms, man. DeMar DeRozan turns 25 years old today. Happy birthday to him. Happy birthday to the great DeMar DeRozan. And I don't know why I put great in front of his name. He's okay. David Mann turns 48 years old today. You know who he is? That's the actor. That's the brother that plays in, I think he plays in Meet the Browns. Or maybe one of them Tyler Perry black people TV shows. So he turns 48 years old today. Happy birthday to him as well. And one sad one, man. If you remember the great Alfalfa, his name was actually Carl Switzer. The great Carl Switzer, a.k.a. Alfalfa, he would have had a birthday today if he didn't die back in 1959. Now, I don't know why I thought to bring that up, because 9 times out of 10, we usually don't bring up deceased people in this show. I just want to take the time to say that I was a huge Little Rascals fan growing up, man. I mean, I absolutely loved that show. And if you're under the age of 30, or maybe under the age of 35, you probably never seen an episode of the Little Rascals in your life, and that's fine. This is my show, and I'm reminiscing. I'm hearkening back to yesteryear, and that was our show when we were kids, and I'm talking about when I was 6, 7, 8 years old. That was our show. Me and my cousins and little kids around the neighborhood, man. We absolutely love our gang, a.k.a. the Little Rascals. So R.I.P. Carl Switzer. You've been gone for about 60 years now, but it's okay. R.I.P., brother. 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Let me look at some of your chat, man. Thank you for all of the chat in the chat room. Hey, I think let me say this before I jump to the chat, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. I think the Steve Harvey neighborhood, they changed it to the Neighborhood Awards are this weekend. Yeah, I am sure. It used to be called the Hoodies, but now they call the Neighborhood Awards. I guess he's trying to get more of that corporate sponsorship money. I get it. So it's going down this weekend here in the ATL. My university, South Carolina State University, will be down there this weekend at the Georgia World Congress Center at the Steve Harvey College Expo. Okay, this Friday and Saturday, the 7th and the 8th. All right, that's today and tomorrow, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. And we're having a college expo, and what it is you still have the opportunity. If you got a student or a son or a daughter that lives in the metro Atlanta area and they haven't made a decision about college yet, guess what? You still got time to do it. You still got time to do it, or even submit an application for next school year. You know, if you got a rising junior or still actually a student right now, maybe they can go back in the spring or they can start up in the spring. So South Carolina State University, my university, is having a college expo. All you got to do is to bring your SAT scores, Social Security card, ID, and transcripts if you have them. And we'll be down there and evaluating transcripts and college applications, and maybe we can accept you right there on the spot, okay? That's the Steve Harvey College Expo this weekend down at the Georgia World Congress Center. Look for the South Carolina State banner and table. I'm doing my duty, all sons and daughters of South Carolina State. All right, let me read some of this chat here on the Doug Stewart Show. 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. From Ronald Cameron, he says, Skip Bayless always talks about the Hall of Very Good. If he does, I'm pretty sure he got it from me. He got that term from me. I ain't never bit nothing from Skip Bayless. Trust me on that. From Jungle Brother, he says, gotta get back to work, folks. Holla. All right, Jungle Brother. He was in there for 5 minutes. You got to do what you got to do, though. You better keep getting that check. From Foul Pay, Jerome Bettis is the 6th on the all-time rushing list. He did it for 12 years. What more do you need to be considered a Hall of Fame candidate? Yeah, I guess in relative terms, just like I said, Foul Pay, I'm not mad. I'm not hating on Jerome Bettis. And I guess what it is my expectations and what I feel is an all-timer and the different, groups of categories or subgroups of players. There's a real defined mark. You understand what I'm saying? And like I mentioned in the first segment, to me, the Hall of Fame means you're the best of all time, and there was something really special about you. And thus, I talked about a couple of players, O.J. Simpson, Tony Dorsett, guys like that, man. Barry Sanders. It's almost like they should have one wing for the Hall of Fame, and then they should have another wing for the Hall of Very, Very Good. And in that wing, you could put Jerome Bettis. In that wing, you could put Curtis Martin. In that wing, you could put, I don't know who else, other running back you could think of, on a tier a little bit behind those exceptional talents. Like Eric Dickerson belongs in the Hall of Fame. you see what I'm saying? Eric Dickerson belongs in the Hall of Fame. Jim Brown belongs in the Hall of Fame. And maybe there should be another wing, like Wing B in the building, in the facility, for guys like we're talking about today. But listen, I get it. Fantastic player, solid player for a long, long time. Just not to the level of some of the other guys that I would consider the greatest of all times. From Rel Scott, chilling, bro, enjoying the show in Philly and Jungle. What up, Rel Scott? Speaking of some of the Stewies, make sure you follow me on Periscope. Follow me on Periscope, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all at The Doug Stewart Show. Make sure you do that. That's very important. The great Mocha Bella, who's a tremendous fan and loyal supporter of The Doug Stewart Show and the Two Live Stews from back in the day. She says today is her birthday, and she requested me to sing a song for her today on her birthday. And shut up! Shut your pie hole up. Shut up! So she requested me to sing a song for her today, man, and because I didn't have anything really prepared or in mind, once again, it's hard to duplicate what I did yesterday in that rendition of Climax by Usher. Shut it up! You better shut it up. It's hard for me to duplicate and bring the passion to you like I did yesterday with that rendition of Usher's Climax. So today what I'm going to do for Mocha, man, is I'm going to replay one of my classic karaoke selection tunes for Mocha. I'm going to replay the great Luther Vandross's House Is Not Home, I believe it was. Or one of them Luther Vandross songs that I did a couple of weeks ago. So stay tuned for that, man, on the Doug Stewart Show. All right, there you go. There you go, studio audience. I guess they like that Luther cut. So a little bit later today, I'm going to replay that for Mocha, man, just to say happy birthday to her, man. I mean, thank you for all of the support, Mocha. You've been there from the beginning, man. And so I really appreciate it. So to you, I'm going to oblige you with one of my classic tunes a little bit later. Oh, yeah, if you're new to the Doug Stewart Show, not only do we do sports, guy talk, entertainment, I read a ton of your chat, birthdays and all of that, and top fives, I also sing, man. I also sing. You know, just one of those God-given talents given to me. Arian Foster wouldn't agree with that. But one of those God-given talents that was given to me, man, so I use it and I exploit it on this show. All right, why not? Why not? I mean, if the good Lord gave it to you, why not use it? And so today, man, stay tuned. I'll replay one of my classics for the great Mocha Bella, all right? When we get back from the break, this is the Doug Stewart Show. We'll talk about Floyd Mayweather Jr. He talks about his latest opponent. And he's trying to sell a fight. What else you think he's going to do? All right? So don't go away. Keep it locked. This is the Doug Stewart Show. Fantasy sports fans are winning huge cash prizes every day at DraftKings.com. America's favorite place to play daily fantasy sports. Daily fantasy means no season-long commitments. Play whenever you want. Just pick your sport and draft your team. It's like a new season every time you play, so you're never stuck with the same players. Last year, $300 million were won at DraftKings.com, and you could be next to win big. Go to DraftKings.com now and enter promo code STU to play for free. That's STU for free entry now at DraftKings.com. Also, if you use promo code STU, DraftKings will match your initial deposit up to $600. Deposit $600, play with $1,200. DraftKings.com, promo code STU.
The Doug Stewart Show.
The place where the real players play.
We're sorry, the number you have dialed is not in service.
The Doug Stewart Show.
That's a brand name. Like Pepsi, that's a brand name. I stand behind it. I guarantee it.
The Doug Stewart Show.
You ain't stewing. What the hell are you doing? Yeah! What is 911 Tax Relief? It's a tax relief company that can help you reduce or remove your IRS or state tax debt. They'll help stop bank levies and wage garnishments by implementing offers and compromise or penalty abatements. 911 Tax Relief is a tax relief company, but they're different from the others. Their experts are licensed, enrolled tax agents, and they also have more than 12 years' experience helping people solve their tax problems. They're a tax relief company that understands how the IRS works, and they'll also put that knowledge to work for you. So they can get you the best possible settlement or solution to your tax problems. Highly rated by the Better Business Bureau, and they've helped thousands of people solve their tax problems. So don't play around. Click on their website and let 911 Tax Relief help you in your situation with Uncle Sam. Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show.
Let it bump, though.
And it is a fantastic, funky football Friday in the doghouse on the Doug Stewart Show. Slip back to 2 Live Stews just now for a second. 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Shouts out to all of the Stewies. I nub new. Thank you for being totally interactive, man. Having some fun on this Friday. A little bit later, we're going to talk about the Oakland Raiders, and we'll also talk a little bit about the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets, ATL Ho. But this segment is brought to you by National Debt Relief. They're one of the country's largest and most reputable debt settlement companies specializing in debt settlement, and they've also negotiated settlements for thousands of creditor and collection accounts. Core Services offer debt settlement as an alternative. I repeat, an alternative to bankruptcy, credit counseling, and debt consolidation. So give them a call at 844-828-4975. Once again, that's 844-828-4975. And tell them that the Doug Stewart Show sent you. Before you file bankruptcy, give these folks a call, man. Give them a call. Hey, have you gotten your Doug Stewart Show t-shirt? If you haven't, you can get yours. All right, go to thedougstewartshow.com, click on the link that says donate, and if you donate $20 or more, man, we'll send you your very own The Doug Stewart Show T-shirt. Like I mentioned a couple of days ago, we got a new order in, got new sizes, some bigger sizes for some of the bigger brothers that listen to the show. And so we actually sent out an order yesterday, and then we'll also send another one out on Monday. We aren't able to send one out today. The shipping department is down. The computers are down there. So we'll send those out Monday. So trust me, if you ordered a shirt, especially we had a couple of cats that just could not wear a XL or even a 2X or whatever. So we got a couple of the bigger sizes in as well now. So thedougstewartshow.com, click on the link to donate $20 or more. We will send you a T-shirt. Thank you very much for supporting the show and for supporting independent radio and supporting my kids eating. All right, number 4 on my list of top 5 superhero teams of all times. Number 4 was the Inhumans. A lot of you probably never even heard of them. I get it. Coming in at number 4 is the Defenders. The Defenders comes in at number 4. So they've got like one of those rotating lineups. Like the Avengers, I've always talked about how the Avengers always got these cats that come in and out of the group. So they got like a rotating lineup. The main dude, I guess, on the team is Doctor Strange. And I read something a couple of days ago, or maybe I saw it on like a trailer. But Marvel's about to do a Doctor Strange movie, which that has some possibilities because he's a different type of character. So that might work. But Doctor Strange was on it. The Hulk was on it. Namor. Who else? Namor is kind of like a dude, kind of like Aquaman from the Justice League. Silver Surfer. Yeah, so those cats were on the Defenders. They were pretty big back in the day. So the Defenders come in at number 4 on my list of top 5 superhero movies of all times. Or superhero teams of all times. The reason we're doing this is because today I'm trying to help Marvel and the Fantastic Four out. The new Fantastic Four movie comes out today, and word on the street is absolutely horrible. They tried to do it a couple of times, man, and you'll see here in a second, man. I was a big fan of that comic growing up, but it's been done a couple of times, man, and no one's been able to do it justice, and they say this time is no different. They say it's no different, man. They say this movie is bad. I think I might still go to see it, though, because I'm just that type of dude. I'm a comic book dude through and through, so I'll probably still go and waste my money on it. I won't do it this weekend, though. I'll wait till $5 Tuesday. And so I'll tell you about it on Wednesday. That's the deal. Floyd Mayweather, man, began promoting his fight with Andre Berto coming up in September the 12th. Here's a quote from Floyd. He says, "I don't know why, but I'm just training a lot harder for this fight." Mayweather said, "I just want to go out with a bang, I guess." Kind of intimating that it's going to be a lot of action. If you have heard, and it's been talked about for the last couple of days, Andre Berto has lost 3 of his last 6 fights. He shouldn't beat Floyd Mayweather at all, but anything can actually happen in boxing. And I guess if you're looking at it from Floyd's perspective, he doesn't want to take this guy lightly. Floyd has always been very cautious in his career. That's gotten him to 48-0. So I suspect he's probably training. He says it. I'm training harder for this fight than any other fight that I've had, because you'd hate to be Floyd Mayweather and go out with a blemish on your record from Andre Berto. You know, so I can believe him when he says that he's going to train extra hard for this. He doesn't want to take the guy lightly. He says, "They say they'll offer me a lot of money to keep fighting. I have a lot of money. I'm okay. It's the end of my career, my deal on Showtime. I'm an old man now. I'm 38. And I talked about this a couple of days ago when this was announced. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. That Floyd Mayweather, 100%, in my mind, will fight that 50th fight to pass Rocky Marciano. But what he's doing right now is trying to sell this fight. And by saying he's going to retire and then coming out of retirement to fight Manny Pacquiao again, that'll boost and that'll promote that fight, down the road. And so he's going to beat Andre Berto. He's going to tie Rocky Marciano with 49 wins and no defeats. And then he's going to come out of retirement to fight Manny Pacquiao, win his 50th fight, be the all-time undisputed boxer ever. You know, and that's a short list. You're talking about him and Marciano. And then he's going to ride off into the sunset. And he'll probably make about $300 million for that Pacquiao fight. You know, what'll happen is the way they'll push this thing, and I guess I can do this. I'm good at this because I've been a promoter my entire life. I've been throwing events and parties since I was in high school. Speaking of which, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Speaking of which, clear your calendar, Stewies, for the weekend of September 26th. We're doing something huge, something unthinkable in the world of sports and Guy Talk Radio. We are having an entire weekend of events on the weekend of September 26th. So clear your calendar, man, and come in and kick it with your boy and celebrate the one-year anniversary of the Doug Stewart Show. So what'll happen when they promote this Manny Pacquiao Floyd Mayweather 2 fight? Well, it'll be Floyd's 50th. First of all, you have all of the history and the legacy conversation to go behind it. And they'll bring out all the Rocky Marciano tape, and then they'll talk about Floyd's career. That in itself is going to be a lot. And then they'll talk about how great Manny Pacquiao looks in training and how fantastic he is. And it looks like Manny Pacquiao from 10 years ago, and they'll talk that up. And his shoulder's fine, and he looks fantastic. He looks unbeatable right now. That'll be the word that comes out. And then on the contrast, they'll say Floyd Mayweather Jr. has not been training, and he's not ready. He looks kind of fat, and he's got a gut. And Floyd's primed to lose his first fight ever. And then you have the storyline about how Floyd went 49 times and didn't lose, but then this thing is building up where Floyd's going to lose his last fight ever, and how much of a tragedy that will be. You know, it'll be that whole scenario. You remember that Damon Wayans movie, The Great White Hype? You remember that movie? The Great White Hype was in effect talking about that whole phenomenon of a white champion in boxing, which is kind of like a unicorn. You rarely see that. I don't know why. But the whole thing was this white boxer, I guess the modern-day Jerry Cooney or whatever, and he was fantastic, and he was poised to beat Damon Wayans' character. I can't remember what his name was in the movie. And Damon Wayans wasn't taking the guy serious, and Damon Wayans was fat, and he was out of shape, and this guy can't beat me. And so they were hyping it up, you know, just like I described what's going to happen with Pacquiao and Floyd. And sure, Damon Wayans was out of shape. He had a big-ass gut at fight time. And you know what happened. The movie is old now, so I can tell you. Damon Wayans went out there and kicked the crap out of this guy. But the moral of the story is this, is that Floyd Mayweather Jr., with all that going on and all of the hoopla and the promotion of this fight, just as I described it, is probably going to walk away from fight number 50, beating Manny Pacquiao's ass again and pocketing about $300 million. That's the way it's probably going to go down. There you have it from the Doug Stewart Show. You don't even need to pay your money to see Berto or Pacquiao. I done told you what's going to happen. Call me Negro Dumbest. I done told you what's going to happen. All right? Mark it down. Mark it down, baby. Yes, sir. This is the Doug Stewart Show, man. The realest, the trillest, the most un-PC sports and guy talk show in America. Yeah, America wants to see Manny Pacquiao beat Floyd Mayweather Jr., and that won't happen. All right, we were talking about the Hall of Fame today. Floyd is one of the best to ever do it. He's smart, okay? He's not going to lose to Manny Pacquiao. He's not. Stop wishing on it. You wished on it for many, many years. And after the fight, and I'm talking to the Floyd Mayweather haters and the Manny Pacquiao lovers, and after the fight, you were quiet as a church mouse. Couldn't find you. Floyd's scared of Manny. Manny's better than Floyd. Floyd's a punk. And now I couldn't even find your ass. Hey, when we get back from the break, man, it'll be hour number 2 of the Doug Stewart Show. We'll talk more top 5 superhero teams of all times. And a little bit later, once again, we'll talk about the Oakland Raiders and the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. Sports talk with hot sauce, Texas Pete hot sauce. This is the Doug Stewart Show. In life, things happen, good and bad. And being prepared is always important. If you're like me, a husband, a father, and protector of that family tree, then your family is the most important thing in the world. 95 million U.S. adults don't have protection in place. So, what I've done is put my protection in the hands of the largest and number one independent financial services company in North America, and that's Primerica. They look out for middle America because they believe that offering the most competitive premiums only benefits the client and have been doing so since 1977. If you're a parent, husband, or wife and want to discuss options with one of Primerica's top reps, then call my guy, Greg Wynn, at 678-439-7172. Again, that's 678-439-7172, and he'll put your family first. And hey, tell him that Doug Stewart sent you. Yes! I don't like Johnny Gill. He took my spot on New Edition. One of my favorite songs of all time from New Edition is Can You Stand the Rain? So to pay ode to that famous song, man, I'm going to give you my little rendition of Can You Stand the Rain? On a perfect day, I know that I can count on you. Ooh. When that's not possible, tell me, can you weather the storm? Then Ralph jumps in. 'Cause I need somebody who will stand. Shut up! Who will stand by me through the good times and bad times. She will always be right there. Hey, sunny days. Everybody has them. And tell me, hey, can you stand the rain? J-Rob, Tree, if you stop Doug singing, we will renege your BPA nomination. Huh? Buster, Doug, I see why you got kicked out. Dude, wait a minute. Back up, Jack. Shut up. Studio audience, y'all are out of control today. I mean, seriously, we're going to talk about this. We're going to have to take y'all into Larry's office after this show. That ninja, you just cracked my damn phone screen. What? Where's all of this coming from? Who's putting y'all up to say these things? Who's putting y'all... Okay, Tree, jump on for a second. You're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Did you prompt these people to say these nasty things to me on Spreaker.com?
You know what?
I mean, it's jealousy. Tree, we know that you sing. But you don't have to be the only person that can sing, okay? I can see it. What do the kids call it? Hating? Is that what's going on here, Tree? Are you hating on Doug Stewart? Dirty Della.
Oh, my God.
Dirty Della. Oh. Dirty Della. Oh. First of all, thank you for listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Now, if you've been listening for a while, you know that we've grown exponentially over the first couple of months. Whether that's listens, whether that's followers, we're blowing up, and you can be a part of it. If you have a company out there and you like to promote on the Doug Stewart Show, we'd love to partner with you. Here's what you do. Email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Once again, that's doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Whether that's locally, regionally, or nationally, we can get the word out. What you're talking about is middle-aged dudes that love sports and love exciting sports talk. Once again, email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. That's doug@thedougstewartshow.com, and we will put you out there. All right? That's doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Let's do some business. Yes!
Are you tired of overpriced cable bills? Looking for something more? Well, fire your cable guy. FireYourCableGuy.com has exclusive offers on satellite television from DirecTV and Dish Network. Prices start at only $19.99 a month. So go online today or find us on Facebook at FireYourCableGuy.com. FireYourCableGuy.com. Satellite television for less.
Hey, wait, get your hands off that dial. Now, today's show isn't live, but it's kind of live. As a matter of fact, it's very live. Yes! This is a rebroadcast of the Doug Stewart Show. Don't turn the dial. Stay here. Yeah, the Doug Stewart Show. Hour number 2, baby. Yes, sir. Welcome back to the realest, trillest sports and guy talk show in America, the Doug Stewart Show. I promise you ain't nobody else in media having this conversation about Geno Smith. Pay that man his money, man. You wouldn't have no problems. Now, I will say this. They're both wrong. And at the end of the day, the dude IK is really wrong, man. I know if he had this to do all over again, he wouldn't. But sometimes emotions get caught up and dude isn't thinking straight. And once again, I know I've been there before where a cat is like really dismissing you. And it really goes to your core. It really goes to your core. If you a dude, if you a man, there's man laws. We talked about this. We had a whole show on man laws. And a dude just keep playing you like you some kind of clown. It really hurts, man. And I think that if IK had to do it all over again, he definitely wouldn't hit the guy because he lost his damn job. And I think the minimum salary in the NFL is like $600K. But, hey, sometimes these things happen, man. Hey, man, if you live in Atlanta, Georgia, if you live in Metro Atlanta, you know that this city is fantastic, man. It's fantastic, but we do have a slight issue with crime. I mean, some people would say we have a huge issue with crime. I'm here to tell you about Strickland Security. It's an Atlanta-based security company, and whether you need an alarm system installed in your home or business or your current system needs to be repaired, Strickland Security is the solution. That's right. They've been in business with a combined amount of years of 55. They've done it all in the business, Strickland Security. So if you have crime issues or concerns in your neighborhood, you need to call the experts, and that's Strickland Security. Invite these guys to your next neighborhood watch or homeowners association meeting and let them tell you about all of their security services. One more thing. Go to their website to see their new mobile solutions. They have developed a smartphone app specifically for neighborhood crime and safety notifications. Once again, that's StricklandSecurity.com. You got your pencil? And grab your pencil, man. Take a second. If you live here in Metro Atlanta, I'm going to give you a second to grab your pencil. All right, you got it? StricklandSecurity.com. That's StricklandSecurity.com. Or give them a call at 800-422-9075. Once again, that's 800-422-9075. And tell them that the Doug Stewart Show sent you. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's right. Okay, so we're talking about top 5 unluckiest franchises in sports, all tied into this this Geno Smith story and the fact that the Jets are just unlucky. I mean, golly, a new season, and your season is already behind the 8 ball before it even starts. And that's the New York Jets. Seems like they're always unlucky. Nothing can't go right for the Jets. Can't kill nothing, nothing won't die, as they say in the country. And so I'm talking about my top 5 unluckiest sports franchises in history. Number 5 on my list was the Atlanta Braves. Number 4, the Cleveland Browns. I'll tell you who number 3 is here in a second, but let me read more of your chat. Thank you so much for the chat. Hour number 2 of the Doug Stewart Show. From Rel Scott, he says top 5 unluckiest. Number 5, the Cubs. Number 4, the Clippers. Number 3, the Browns. Number 2, the Jets. And number 1, the New York Knicks. My list is totally different than everybody I'm seeing posting in the chat room. From that ninja, why are we speculating? He sucker punched him, and we going to kill Geno because white America is doing it. What? First of all, he didn't sucker punch him, ninja. Any white boy, quarterback that gets his jaw broke by a teammate and the linebacker is getting a pass. Long as we are speculating, why not talk about the hockey rapist or Jared? I hear what you're saying, Ninja, but this is the biggest story in the country. I hear what you're saying, brother, but nobody is really checking on hockey like that, I think. I think that's why those stories aren't getting the conversation that a football story is getting. I definitely understand what you're saying, man, but, bruh, this is what America's talking about. You walk into any barbershop in the country right now, Ninja, and that's what they're talking about. This is football. This is the New York Jets. This is Geno Smith, one of the name, a quarterback, first of all, and a name that we've been talking about for the last couple of years. It's going to be all right, bro. It's going to be okay. From Fred Mack, I like what Willie McGinnis said. You got to do your homework before you go putting a finger in folks' face. Yes! And this goes back to the point I was making earlier, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. You got to know your audience, okay? You got to know the cats you're dealing with. And this guy, IK, he had been in some trouble before in college. He had actually swung and hit a police officer. So there were these questions out there about him and his character, and he's the type of dude that's got a short fuse. Okay? And, clearly you kind of get the vibe. Maybe dudes have a reputation when they're in the locker room. And once again, I blame him for not knowing his audience, that this is the type of dude he need to pay his money back. And not only that, if he didn't pay his money back, he shouldn't let the dude just walk up on him like that. His immediate response should have been like, listen, man, extend his hand forward and say to him, listen, I'm going to need you to give me some space, man, because I heard about you. And you keep asking me about this money, and obviously you're serious about it. I didn't realize you were serious. I thought you were just joking, but I'm going to need a couple feet of space first of all. And if dude continues to walk into that space, then you have to go on the offensive. I've always been taught, if you know it's going to be a fight, if you know dude's got an intention of swinging on you, you might as well go ahead and get off the first punch. You might as well. And if Gino would have got off the first punch, I don't think anybody would have been mad. He would have had witnesses. Yeah, IK was stressing him about that money. And he was stressing him. And so Gino had to do what he had to do. I don't think anybody would have been mad. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, but that's not the case. He fell for the old banana in the tailpipe, the old, I want to just talk to you a little bit more. He fell for the old banana in the tailpipe. Where the cat just walked up to him, got into his space, and was able to get off a clean shot. I mean, a very clean shot. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. I mean, you broke a man's jaw in two places. Damn. Geno Smith's new name is Glass Joe. Remember Glass Joe from the Mike Tyson Punch-Out game? I mean, the man's jaw shattered. And I'm kind of making light of it, but it's really not a funny situation. But damn. Andre Elam, he should have known not to play with IK. Hell, he tried a cop when he was in college. Yeah, the cop was under or off duty, the way the story reads, and he got into a fight and decked the cop. From J-Rob, there are two sports movies that will be made, DeAndre Jordan, Clippers in Dallas. The Clippers in Jordan's house playing cards and all while taking him back from Dallas while Mark Cuban is in his driveway. And the second one is Geno getting knocked out. There ain't nobody making no damn movie about Geno Smith. After today and tomorrow, man, we'll probably never talk about Geno Smith again, not until he comes back off of IR. And it's really sad for Geno, too, looking from the perspective of IK and him not getting the job or getting released from the team and really in jeopardy of getting another job in the NFL now because of his reputation. It's really sad for Geno, too, because he's put himself, once again, behind the eight ball. Geno's got some proving to do as far as a quarterback in the NFL. He's got a lot of proving to do, man, and he had the opportunity to do that. He had a clean slate, a new coach, and I know he was looking forward to starting the season. Now, this ninja might not be back till week 10. Or maybe not week 10, week 6. They're saying he's going to be gone for 10 weeks. Or he's just going to be out for 10 weeks. So we're talking about 6 weeks if you factor in preseason, maybe week 6 or week 7 if he is going to be injured for 10 weeks before he gets back on the field, man. So it's really just bad for everybody involved, man. This is it. This is Geno's hot seat year. If he doesn't get it done to and show that he can be a starting quarterback in the NFL this year, then he'll forever be, at best, a backup in the league, man. 404-382-0338 from Dobby. Geno wish he just pony up to 600. He wouldn't have his damn jaw wide shut. Oh, boy, wish he would have got paid. He would still have a career. Yeah, this is really tragic from all angles. I know Geno right now, wired shut for 6 to 10 weeks? That's absolutely horrible. I've actually got a doctor's appointment tomorrow, and they're doing some tests on me or whatever, and I'll tell you more about it on Friday. Tomorrow we're doing a best of show. And, I'm not supposed to eat solid foods all day. I have never gone an entire day in my life without eating food. This man got to go 6 to 10 weeks with drinking milkshakes. And all he had to do was pay the man his damn little money. Can you imagine how stupid Geno Smith feels today? How bad he feels? knowing he's got to go 6 to 10 weeks drinking milkshakes? And also, can you feel and imagine how bad IK feels today, knowing that he lost a job in the NFL? Now, they're saying, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, they're saying that it was a 50-50 chance of whether dude even made the team or not, but that's neither here nor there. Now it's a 100% chance he ain't going to make the team. Oh, man, just a horrible, tragic story all the way around. Gino, and people are questioning him and his leadership ability. This kind of brings into play his character. You know, the man clearly, the first time maybe you could misjudge and say, dude just playing around. He know he's good, that I'm good for it. He know I'll give it to him. But if dude approaches you that second time about that money, you instantly got to drop what you're doing and go to an ATM and get this man his money because he's serious, clearly. And so that kind of talks about the character of Gino, man. It does. And once again, we're all speculating at this point, but from all indications, from everybody that's talking about it, from sources, quote-unquote sources, this is the case. The man kept asking for his money, and Gino kept pushing him to the side, playing him to the left, in fact. And a lot of dudes ain't trying to hear that, man. You know, some of us will take it longer than others. And some dudes, man, they ain't trying to hear nothing. No matter for $600, no matter if we play in the NFL or not, it's really the principle of the matter. It is. I need my damn money. And I hate that, man. A dude owed me $500 right now. And the only reason this man hadn't paid me, one, is because we grown. And when I gave him the money and he started playing me to the left, I kind of had a real important job making a lot of money. You know, I'm doing the un-IK thing. The only reason I didn't step the dude with physical force is because I knew that if I did, I would have went to jail and I would have lost my job. Probably what IK should have done, but I don't have that job anymore. And so the next time I see dude, I need to get that money. And if they're listening to the show and they know who they are, they need to get me my money because I need it. The times are different. I had a real nice cushy job making what I would consider a lot of money. Times have changed. I need that money back. I need it. And I'm laughing, but I'm serious as hell. Next time I see this dude, man, there's probably going to be a problem. And if y'all hear about me getting arrested or whatever, I'm giving you forewarning. That's what it's about. And I'm going to see this dude at homecoming. And I need my money. Don't go away. When I get back, I'm going to sing for y'all. I'm pretty sure I'm going to sing. I need to make sure and formulate it right in my mind. Y'all going to love this. Don't go away. The Doug Stewart Show. You've been thinking about starting that online store, right? And you do know e-commerce makes billions a year. That's right. I said billions with a B, okay? A B. Well, just do it and do it right with my friends at AmeriCommerce. AmeriCommerce is an easy-to-use tool to sell anything online, on Facebook, and through mobile phones. Over 100,000 merchants and website owners have chosen AmeriCommerce to handle their stores and customers. They have the most in-depth features in the industry, which include multiple storefronts, website management from one console, a Facebook shopping application, a mobilized, optimized website, and much more. Don't let eBay, Amazon, and Zappos get all the money. Get your piece of the pie, too. Click on their banner link on thedougstewartshow.com or the app link for more details. First of all, thank you for listening to The Doug Stewart Show. Now, if you've been listening for a while, you know that we've grown exponentially over the first couple of months. Whether that's listens, whether that's followers, we're blowing up, and you can be a part of it. If you have a company out there and you like to promote on The Doug Stewart Show, we'd love to partner with you. Here's what you do. Email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Once again, that's doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Whether that's locally, regionally, or nationally, we can get the word out. What you're talking about is middle-aged dudes that love sports and love exciting sports talk. Once again, email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. That's Doug at theDougStewartShow.com, and we will put you out there, all right? That's Doug at theDougStewartShow.com. Let's do some business. Yes! Fantasy sports fans are winning huge cash prizes every day at DraftKings.com, America's favorite place to play daily fantasy sports. Daily fantasy means no season-long commitments. Play whenever you want. Just pick your sport and draft your team. It's like a new season every time you play, so you're never stuck with the same players. Last year, $300 million were won at DraftKings.com, and you could be next to win big. Go to DraftKings.com now and enter promo code STU to play for free. That's STU for free entry now at DraftKings.com. Also, if you use promo code STU, DraftKings will match your initial deposit up to $600. Deposit $600, play with $1,200. DraftKings.com, promo code STU. When my best of shows are better than their live shows, you know they lame as hell, shorty. You're listening to The Doug Stewart Show. And I need you to put your lighters in the air and move them from side to side. Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. I never meant to cause you any sorrow. Yes, sir. I never meant to cause you any pain. No, I didn't. Hell no, I didn't. I only wanted to see you one time laughing. I only wanted to see you laughing in the purple rain. Purple rain, purple rain. Woo! Yes, sir. Purple rain, purple rain. Yes, sir. Purple rain, purple rain. I only want to see you bathing in the purple rain. I never wanted to be your weekend lover. No, I didn't. No, I didn't, man. I only wanted to be some kind of friend. Hey, hey. Baby, I can never steal you from another. No, I couldn't. It's such a shame our friendship had to end. Purple rain, purple rain. Yes, sir. Purple rain, purple rain. Yes, sir. Purple rain, purple rain. Yes, Lord. The purple rain. Honey, I know times are changing. Woo! I know times are changing. It's time we all reach out for something new. And that means you too. You say you want a leader, but you can't seem to make up your mind. I think you better close it and let me guide you to. Let me guide you to, oh yeah. Do the purple rain. Purple rain, purple rain. Yes, Lord. Purple rain, purple rain. Purple rain, Purple Rain. Yes, sir. Crescendo. I only want to see you only in the purple rain. Oh, yeah! Woo! Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Oh, Lord have mercy. Welcome back once again to the Doug Stewart Show. Oh, my gosh. My gosh. For some reason, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, man. Thank you so much. You're welcome. You're welcome, Stewies. You're locked and loaded into the Doug Stewart Show. For some reason, Shree has a look on her face like she just ate a half a bag of onions. And I don't know why. Shree, are you constipated? What's going on with you? Never mind. Forget that question. You're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. The number to the show is 404-382-0338. I know. Oh, my gosh. Oh, wow. I know that you're just emotional right now from that rendition of Prince's Purple Rain. Credit to Prince Purple Rain for writing the song. Credit to me for taking it to an even newer, bigger, higher level. You're welcome, Stewies. Thank you. Oh, man, look at all this chat. Oh, boy, look at all of this chat. So we've been talking about, let's get back to the business here. I'll read some of your chat a little bit later from with some of your thoughts and commentary about that rendition of The Great Purple Rain. I mean, I really, really feel emotional whenever I sing that. And I've been kind of going over it in my head for the last couple of days. I heard it on the radio, and so there goes the finished product, man, and I hope you enjoyed it. I know you did. Matter of fact, there's no hope about it. I know you did. You're welcome. You're welcome, Stewies. Yes, sir. That boy's talented. Maybe we'll replay it for you, too, at some point in the show. Coming up in about 10 minutes, we're going to talk about the Clemson Tigers. And we'll also talk about the Cleveland Browns on our preseason football reports on the Doug Stewart Show. I mean, where else are you going to get this? Where else in America is a ninja going to keep it real on Geno Smith getting his ass decked in the locker room? Sports guy talk, read your chat, give you a top 5, and sing for you. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So number 5 on my list of, let me do this quickly before I get back into the chat, and thank you for all of the chat. Number 5 on my list of top 5 unluckiest sports franchises. Number 5 on my list was I can't even read my own damn writing, the Atlanta Braves. Number 4 on my list was the Cleveland Browns. Coming in at number 3 on my list of top 5 unluckiest sports franchises of all times is the Buffalo Bills. Yes, sir. And I did look it up. The Buffalo Bills were actually the team that were the losing end of the Music City Miracle with the Tennessee Titans. They hold the National Football League record for teams, for a team's futility. They lost 4 Super Bowls in a row. They got to 4 Super Bowls, and I know a lot of people say, well, hell, they got to the damn Super Bowls. They have had some success, but they got to them and lose. And it's almost like that thing you throw out there, that saying, is it better to have loved and lost than to have never loved at all? Would you rather go to 4 Super Bowls and lose all 4 of them, or would you rather not just go at all? And that's kind of the thing with the Buffalo Bills. They have been putrid since their great run of Jim Kelly and the K-Gun and Thurman Thomas and those guys back in the 90s, the early 90s. They have been bad ever since. Marv Levy has gone home to glory. And even before the great run of the early 90s of the Buffalo Bills, when they had the great O.J. Simpson, my favorite football player of all time, one of the most exciting, exhilarating players of all time, the first person to rush over 2,000 yards, even though they had O.J. Simpson, the Bills back then, even back then they sucked. And they've gone through a quarterback after quarterback. Emmanuel looks like he's not going to be the fit. He's not going to be the guy they thought he was when they drafted him out of Florida State. And so they're just bad. They're just spinning their wheels. They're just bad. So for that, the Buffalo Bills coming in number 3 on my list of top 5 unluckiest sports franchises of all times. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, I'm going to go to break right now, a little bit early. So when we get back, all I'm going to do is read your chat, and I'm also going to talk briefly about the Clemson Tigers and about the Cleveland Browns for our preseason NFL reports. I got to read some of this chat, man, and y'all thoughts on Purple Rain. Yes, sir. Got to do that. Thank you. I mean, it's almost too much to even handle. Wow. Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. All right, don't go away. This is the Doug Stewart Show. Yes, Lord. Boy, this is fantastic. Oh, these cats love me. They absolutely love me. Should I even keep doing this? Maybe I should just say. Fantasy sports fans are winning huge cash prizes every day at DraftKings.com. America's favorite place to play daily fantasy sports. Daily fantasy means no season-long commitments. Play whenever you want. Just pick your sport and draft your team. It's like a new season every time you play, so you're never stuck with the same players. Last year, $300 million were won at DraftKings.com, and you could be next to win big. Go to DraftKings.com now and enter promo code STU to play for free. That's STU for free entry now at DraftKings.com. Also, if you use promo code STU, DraftKings will match your initial deposit up to $600. Deposit $600, play with $1,200. DraftKings.com, promo code STU.
The Doug Stewart Show.
The place where the real players play.
We're sorry, the number you have dialed is not in service.
The Doug Stewart Show.
That's a brand name. Like Pepsi, that's a brand name. I stand behind it. I guarantee it.
The Doug Stewart Show.
If you ain't Stewart, what the hell are you doing? Yeah! What is 911 Tax Relief? It's a tax relief company that can help you reduce or remove your IRS or state tax debt. They'll help stop bank levies and wage garnishments by implementing offers in compromise or penalty abatements. 911 Tax Relief is a tax relief company, but they're different from the others. Their experts are licensed, enrolled tax agents, and they also have more than 12 years' experience helping people solve their tax problems. They're a tax relief company that understands how the IRS works, and they'll also put that knowledge to work for you, so they can get you the best possible settlement or solution to your tax problems. Highly rated by the Better Business Bureau, and they've helped thousands of people solve their tax problems. So, don't play around. Click on their link on my website and let 911 Tax Relief help you in your situation with Uncle Sam. I mean, even when the show's not live, it's still live. Yes! Yeah, you know what I mean. This is the Doug Stewart Show, a rebroadcast of the Doug Stewart Show. Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, this album is dedicated to all the teachers that told me I never amount to nothing. To all the people that lived above the buildings that I was hustling from, that called the police on me when I was just trying to make some money to feed my daughter.
I mean, these listeners are so blessed to listen to me.
It's all good, baby.
To listen to me sing.
It was all a dream. I used to read Word Up magazine.
Oh, we're back?
Salt and pepper and Heavy D.
Oh, we're back. Okay, welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. This is a Wild Out Wednesday, and I think you heard me. I thought we were off air still, but I mean, what I was saying wasn't too inflammatory. I was just saying how blessed y'all are to hear me sing on the Doug Stewart Show. And I appreciate you listening and passing the word and telling people about the show. I really do appreciate that. But You're also fortunate that you are able to listen to me sing, man. So it's a two-way street here on the Doug Stewart Show. Thank you so much for joining me. The number to the show is 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Let me tell you a little bit about Math Equals Money. That's right, Math Equals Money. Are you ready to begin maximizing your financial potential? Grab a pencil, too. I need you to grab a pencil. If you are ready to start maximizing your financial potential, visit mathequalsmoney.com. That's mathequalsmoney.com for assistance with multiplying your money. Currently on sale for the low price of just $15.99, purchase the M3, which stands for Multiple Money Manual, which will pay for itself in less than a month and begin growing your money. No gimmicks, just practical information on your fingertips, waiting to be put to use. So, while you're on the website, take advantage of the information-packed ebook of the same name titled Math Equals Money for only $4.99. This book will help you conquer your fear of math and begin to utilize math to your advantage. Not only is mathequalsmoney.com the home of the M3 and the ebook Math Equals Money, but it's also the home of the most affordable quality mathematical tutoring delivered in real-world context, which helps to make math not only understandable, but fun to learn at the same time. Additionally, mathequalsmoney.com has free math secrets that will help to take the stress away from math, as well as free articles designed to motivate and stimulate thought. What are you waiting for? Visit mathequalsmoney.com now. Once again, that's mathequalsmoney.com. Yeah. And you know about math, man. The U.S. is kind of like last in the world in math. And I know both my daughters, I had to get math tutors for them when they were younger, and really, really helped them out. Both do well, very well right now in math. So yes, definitely check out mathequalsmoney.com. All right, let's talk a little bit of football, man, on the Doug Stewart Show. First off, let's talk a little bit about the Clemson Tigers. Last year, a 9-3 record. As they lose 3 games, they lose to the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets late in the season, really in convincing fashion for Georgia Tech. They also lose to FSU early in the season in overtime. And then they lost to the Georgia Bulldogs at the start of the season as well, 45-21. Dabo Swinney is back as head coach of the Clemson Tigers, really having a great run as head coach of the team. In relative terms to when Tommy Bowden, or was it Bobby Bowden? Not Bobby, it was Tommy. Yeah, I believe it was Tommy Bowden. Those Bowden boys was the coach there a couple of years ago. So Dabo's been having a great coaching tenure. 10-3 last year. I said 9-3. Actually, 10-3 last year for the Clemson Tigers. This year, expectations are high once again. They actually have some interesting on-the-road or out-of-conference games where they take on Georgia, which they've been doing that for a couple of years. They take on Georgia, and they also take on the Oklahoma Sooners at the end of the year as well. So the Clemson Tigers are primed to have another great year in the ACC. They're actually favored to win the Coastal Division once again, the Atlantic Coastal Division in the ACC. So that's good stuff for the Clemson Tigers. And really, their whole season kind of hinges on the quarterback, Deshaun Watson, who absolutely has looked fantastic when he's been in there. But, you know, he sustained the knee injury last year and missed the rest of the season. So word on the street is that his health is 100%. He is ready to go, looks good in camp. And so we'll see what the Clemson Tigers do this year. Once again, they are favored to win the Coastal Division, followed by Florida State. Hopefully, I'm a Clemson fan. I'm a South Carolina fan in general. I'm born in the state of South Carolina. I always root for Clemson and Carolina if they aren't playing against each other. And if they are playing against each other, I guess I tend to root a little bit more for Carolina because of the proximity of Columbia. But I root for Clemson outside of that. And so hopefully they can get back on the right track, man. And it's been a long, long time, since 1981, since Clemson has won a national championship. And I don't think they're pegged or people are thinking they're going to win a national championship. In different polls, I've seen them rank between 13th and 16th. So hopefully a good year. Hopefully they can shock some people. Hopefully Deshaun Watson is healthy for the Clemson Tigers, and they can shock some people this year on the gridiron. All right? How about a little Cleveland Brown talk? And we rarely talk Cleveland Browns on this show. One interesting thing about Cleveland, just before I even get into the conversation about them and their record in last year and this year, word on the street is that the Browns have kind of floated out the idea of them signing Ray Rice. Actually, is obviously, there's a little bit of discomfort with the running backs right now. There was a story that came out from the position coach and talking about Isaiah Crowell and the West kid that were pretty productive last year, and the fact that they just don't look good in training camp. So there's some talk out there. I actually think they floated it out there to see the public reaction about bringing in Ray Rice. So look for that to happen, because I don't think there's been that much uproar for the fact that Cleveland actually has talked about that. So I think Ray Rice is going to get a shot to see what he can do for the Cleveland Browns. So keep your eyes and ears on that. The Cleveland Browns, man, last year, once again, a tough year, many tough years for the Cleveland Browns. Thus, they were one of the top 5 unluckiest franchises on my list today of top 5 unlucky teams in sports. So the Cleveland Browns falls right into that once again. A little bit better. I think you saw some signs of life last year. They actually won 7 games, 7-9 last year. Had some good things happen. Brian Hoyer is no longer there, though. They do bring in Dwayne Bowe from Kansas City as an unrestricted free agent. They also signed Randy Starks. They also have lost Jordan Cameron, the tight end, as well. And as I mentioned, Brian Hoyer is no longer the quarterback. So what are the Cleveland Browns going to do? They bring in McNown, who's probably going to be the starting quarterback. But at the same time, and the questions when you talk about, yes, you do have McNown. You brought him in to start because you aren't secure or sure about Johnny Manziel, but you do bring in Josh McCown, and you still have Johnny Manziel. Once again, I said it earlier in today's show, word on the street is that Johnny Manziel looks like an NFL quarterback, that he's starting to come around, and all the things off the field, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, have seemed to kind of settle down. You know, he checked himself into a rehab facility for a large part of the summer, so there's still hope for Johnny Manziel, and I hope to hell that he can come back and play that quarterback position at a high level, because I'm a guy that went out on a limb. I had total faith and felt and believed that Johnny Manziel could be a good quarterback, a very good quarterback in the NFL. So that's the main question. Can Johnny Manziel be that guy that they thought they were drafting out of college, out of Texas A&M? Another question is about the running backs. To talk about Terrence West and Isaiah Crowell, former Georgia product, and what they're doing at the running back position. Do they bring in Ray Rice? And one other little interesting topic about the Cleveland Browns is, Terrell Pryor. They signed him to play wide receiver. From all indications, he's looking good in camp as well, catching balls. So a couple little interesting tidbits about the Cleveland Browns. They're probably going to be one of the worst teams, once again, in their division, which is, one of the tougher divisions in football. And you're talking about the Baltimore Ravens and the Pittsburgh Steelers. But, they're the Cleveland Browns. That's why they're on my list of top 5 worst, unluckiest franchises in sports history. And so there you have it, a little conversation about the Cleveland Browns and the Clemson Tigers. And it is pronounced Clemson. The S kind of sounds like a Z. Clemson. That's the way they say it. Yes, sir. Man, we got a lot of people texting and talking about, the rendition I gave a little bit earlier of Prince's Purple Rain, man. I'll read more of your chat here in a second. I'll also take your phone calls at 404-382-0338. Wow. I'm reading all of this love. Man. I mean, the average Jew just can't pull on Purple Rain. And I did that. I absolutely did that. And speaking of which, let's go ahead and grab a call. Caller, thanks for calling the Doug Stewart Show. What's your name? Where are you calling from? What you want to talk about?
Doug, I want to touch on this here Geno situation, man. This is the Chief Rock of Jersey.
What's up, Vern? Right. What up, Vern from Jersey? How you doing, Vern from Jersey?
I'm good, man. I'm good. How about you, man?
I'm good, Vern.
Oh, okay. Well, first of all, right, it ain't like Geno got $600 put in his hand. This guy brought a ticket and, made some arrangements for him and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? I understand $600, but come on, man.
You wasn't making no sense, Vern. You were rambling, so I had to put you out of your misery. Turn your ass around. if you're new to the Doug Stewart Show, I apologize for that. There's this guy. I mean, he's really a freaking menace to society. He's a menace to this show named Vern from Jersey. And sometimes he calls up here and acts like he wants to talk sports, but then he just wants to try to be rude to me on my own damn show. And I ain't having it. I'm like IK and Panati. I don't play that. So what I had to do is put some lead in his ass. The number to the show is 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedugstewartshow.com. All I'm going to do when we get back is read some of this delightful chat and your commentary and your thoughts on my singing today, man. Any other Geno Smith talk as well? That's really all we did today. Talk about Geno Smith in this situation. Some real world talk. Bottom line, the moral of the story is you don't know who you're dealing with a lot of times, man. And it might not be a lot of money to you, but it might be a hell of a lot of money to me. All right? It might be a lot of money to me. All right, when we get back from the break, all I'm going to do is read chat, man. Thank you so much. Thank you. Don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. This is the Doug Stewart Show. In life, things happen, good and bad. Being prepared is always important. If you're like me, a husband, a father, and protector of that family tree, then your family is the most important thing in the world. 95 million U.S. adults don't have protection in place. So, what I've done is put my protection in the hands of the largest and number one independent financial services company in North America, and that's Primerica. They look out for middle America because they believe that offering the most competitive premiums only benefits the client and have been doing so since 1977. If you're a parent, husband, or wife and want to discuss options with one of Primerica's top reps, then call my guy, Greg Wynn, at 678-439-7172. Again, that's 678-439-7172, and he'll put your family first. And hey, tell him that Doug Stewart sent you. Yes! I don't like Johnny Gill. He took my spot on New Edition. One of my favorite songs of all time from New Edition is Can You Stand the Rain? So to pay ode to that famous song, man, I'm going to give you my little rendition of Can You Stand the Rain? On a perfect day, I know that I can count on you. Ooh. When that's not possible, tell me, can you weather the storm? Then Ralph jumps in. 'Cause I need somebody who will stand. Shut up! Who will stand by me through the good times and bad times. She will always be right there. Hey, sunny days. Everybody has them. And tell me, hey, can you stand the rain? J-Rob, Tree, if you stop Doug singing, we will renege your BPA nomination. Huh? Buster, Doug, I see why you got kicked out. Dude, wait a minute. Back up, Jack. Shut up. Studio audience, y'all are out of control today. I mean, seriously, we're going to talk about this. We're going to have to take y'all into Larry's office after this show. That ninja, you just cracked my damn phone screen. What? Where's all of this coming from? Who's putting y'all up to say these things? Who's putting y'all... Okay, Tree, jump on for a second. You're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Did you prompt these people to say these nasty things to me on Spreaker.com?
You know what?
I mean, it's jealousy. Tree, we know that you sing. But you don't have to be the only person that can sing, okay? I can see it. What do the kids call it? Hating? Is that what's going on here, Tree? Are you hating on Doug Stewart? Dirty Della.
Oh, my God.
Dirty Della. Oh. Dirty Della. Oh. First of all, thank you for listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Now, if you've been listening for a while, you know that we've grown exponentially over the first couple of months. Whether that's listens, followers, we're blowing up, and you can be a part of it. If you have a company out there and you like to promote on the Doug Stewart Show, we'd love to partner with you. Here's what you do. Email me at doug@thedugstewartshow.com. Once again, that's doug@thedugstewartshow.com. Whether that's locally, regionally, or nationally, we can get the word out. What you're talking about is middle-aged dudes that love sports and love exciting sports talk. Once again, email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. That's doug@thedougstewartshow.com, and we will put you out there, all right? That's doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Let's do some business. Yes! When my best of shows are better than their live shows, you know they lame as hell, shawty. You're listening to The Doug Stewart Show. Man, I absolutely love technology. We're able to replay a song that I sung earlier, man. Y'all check this out. Hold on, listen. And I need you to put your lighters in the air and move them from side to side. Man, do you hear the burden in my voice? Listen, keep listening. Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. That boy is talented. I never meant to cause you any sorrow. Oh, boy! Yes, sir. Yes! I never meant to cause you any pain. Man, that boy is so talented. No, I didn't. Hell no, I didn't.
Enough.
I only wanted to see you one time laughing.
If anybody was confused.
Whatever tree. I only wanted to see you laughing in the purple rain. Purple rain. Purple rain. Yes, Lord. Woo! That boy is bad. Purple rain. Purple rain. That boy is bad. All right, man. I got to read all of this chat, man, and all these thoughts about my singing today. Oh, y'all want to hear one more verse? Okay, hold on. We'll let you hear one more verse. I'm getting thumbs up from Waterhead and I only want to see you bathing in the purple rain. Listen. I never wanted to be your weekend lover. Yes, sir. All right. I'm sorry. All right. No, I know y'all want to talk sports before we get out of here. A lot of you want to hear me sing, though. But I only wanted to be some kind of friend. Let me go ahead and grab a call before I give you my final two teams on my top 5 unluckiest teams in sports history of all time. Let me go ahead and grab a call. Yeah, we got a caller. Somebody surely wants to talk about that Purple Rain rendition. Caller, thanks for calling the Doug Stewart Show. What's your name? Where you calling from, and what do you want to talk about?
Man, this is Chico the Alpha. 06 to the good brothers. What's up, man?
Chico the Alpha, how you doing, brother?
Man, I can't call it, man. I can't call it. Listen. I'm not going to take a long time like People Hunt still. You know, he stays with this for like 5 hours. So listen.
Right.
All I want to say is that I want to give my appreciation for that rendition. You hear me? I had to pull the car over and put my lighter in the air, and it's daytime out here.
Yes, you did.
I appreciate that.
Yes, you did.
Thank you so much.
That man, hold on a second, Chico. That man said he had to pull over to the side of the road, and even though it's bright as hell outside, he took his lighter and put it up in the air and went from side to side because of that rendition of Purple Rain.
Yes.
Chico, I appreciate it.
People thought I was having an issue, but no, I was just listening to the blissful sounds of Dougie. But I do have one thing to ask you, though, Dougie.
Okay.
As I've basically made myself the self-proclaimed president of the Dougie Blissful Sound.
Right.
I just have to ask you, sir.
Uh-huh.
Please give Vern a chance to call back and say what he had to say. Now, if he starts talking trash, you put a whole clip in his ass. But the man was talking about broken jaw, punk ass Gino, and I really want to hear what he had to say.
Okay.
Can you please do that for me?
Okay, Chico. I'll do that. But thank you for the call, Chico, man. I really do appreciate it.
My man.
Yeah, there
Take
he
it
is.
easy, bro.
There he is. I mean, that man knows music. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. If we got a chance, if Vern calls back up here, maybe we'll let him talk a little bit about whatever the hell he wanted to talk about. We'll see if we have enough time. But quickly, let me go ahead and give you my final 2 entrants in the top 5 unluckiest team/franchises of all times. Number 5 on my list was the Atlanta Braves. Number 4 was the Cleveland Browns. Number 3, the Buffalo Bills. Crazy, all 3 of them start with the letter B. Coming in at number 2 on my list, and even though they're an expansion team, they've only been around, for probably, 20, 25 years, short in relative terms. Number 2 on my list is the Orlando Magic. I mean, how unlucky can you be? How and it's crazy they're in the same town as the Magic Kingdom. You would think they'd have some good luck. But how unlucky could you be to have 2 of the best big men, quote, unquote, big men in basketball history to be drafted into the league, onto your team, and both of them leave because they're trying to go to a bigger market? I mean, that's unbelievable. And talking about Shaquille O'Neal and Dwight Howard. Both of these guys actually took the Magic to a championship series. Both of them got destroyed in said championship series, though. But they both ultimately left the franchise high and dry. So the Orlando Magic comes in at number 2 on my list. And coming in at number 1 on my list of top 5 unluckiest sports franchises of all times is the Portland Trail Blazers. Not only did they draft Sam Bowie before Michael Jordan, they also had a rash of players on their team for many, many years in which the sports public referred to them as the Jail Blazers. Not only that, but then they followed that up by drafting Greg Oden out of college, out of Ohio State. You know the history on that. Back to the Sam Bowie thing. Chronic knee injuries throughout his career. And then you can even bring it up to today's date with the present-day Portland Trail Blazers. The absolute worst thing has gone down for them. They've lost every single player off their starting lineup. Every single one. Every single one except for the starting point guard. But everybody else is gone and taking free agent deals other places. So it's the same old Portland Trail Blazers. They actually did make it to a finals one time. Got blown out back during the Michael Jordan era by the Chicago Bulls. But, they had a couple of solid years. But they've just had bad luck after bad luck after bad luck happen to them there in the city of Portland. So there you have it, the top 5 unluckiest sports teams of all times, all on the heels of Geno Smith and the unlucky New York Jets. Number 5 was the Braves. Number 4 was the Browns. Number 3, the Bills. Number 2, the Magic. And number 1, the Portland Trail Blazers. Let me go ahead and read some of this music chat, man. I got to do this, man. Thank you so much, people commenting on my singing a little bit earlier today. I really do appreciate that. From Chef Ivan the Great, he says, we don't want to read that one. He's talking about a song called Acid Rain. I sung Purple Rain. Not Acid Rain, so I don't know what you're talking about, sir. From Gary Joyner, he says, I felt the pain in that song, Doug. Yes, you did. You felt the pain and the sorrow and the burden. Just like Prince. I could have been a stand-in for Prince and Purple Rain in the movie. From John, the company man, he says, oh, hell yeah. It's been a long time for real. So Doug really does sing on the show now. Yes, man, where you been at? Where you been at? I do sing on the show. Brian Hill says, Purple Rain, got to get my light up now. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Man, thank you. Thank y'all. From Togo, Uganda, he says, everything about purple is good. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. From Scotty, he says, Doug will break that record, that chat record, when he blesses us with song. And what do we got? Wow, 1,700 posts in the Spreaker chat. Praise God. Yes! Chico the Alpha, who subsequently called into the show. He says, Purple Rain. Yes, sir. Scotty says, I'd rather hear Doug sing another Prince song than Purple Rain. Even though I like your rendition of Purple Rain, Doug, it was fantastic, but I'd rather hear you sing Under the Cherry Moon or something like that. Man, thank you. Yeah. Thank you, Nino the Rhino. Or Scotty. That was from Scotty. Thank you. From Nino the Rhino, says, good job, Doug. You sound like a young Bobby Womack. Wow. I mean, thank you. What can I say? What can I say? Oh. Man said I was a young Bobby Womack. From Dollars and Cents, he says Geno Smith would do, we don't want to read that one, Sluggo, sounding like the David Chappelle, we don't want to read that one either, Foul Pay. He says, rest in peace to another, from Vince Wright, he says, I will give Doug $600 to sing another Prince song. Thank you, Vince Wright. Wow. Oh, I see. He's tying it into the Geno Smith story. $600, you get it? That man says, I will give Doug $600 to sing again. Wow. That's impressive. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. He's about to wrap up the show here in a second. From Run CNC. He says, what the hell is this? Who got 600 apples so that we can hear Doug sing another song? One song isn't enough. What the hell is this? That's from Run CNC. Thank you, Run CNC. Wow. I'm honored. I'm honored. Your singing, from Scotty, he says, your singing is causing joy and exultation. Wow. Couldn't even read that word. Thank you, Scotty. Scotty says, sing, Doug, sing. From Vince Wright, he says, give this ninja a bigger microphone. Thank you, Vince Wright. Wow. I mean, all right, I'm done. I'm going to stop singing all these songs, man. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you so much for joining me today on the Doug Stewart Show. Hey, I do this for you, man. I do this for you. I numb you. I numb you. To quote the great Buckwheat, I numb you. I numb you. Yes, sir. Oh, man. I live for shows like today, man. We did a top 5. I sung. I gave you some real perspective on Geno Smith. Hey, what more could you ask for in a sports and guy talk show? Yes, sir. Sorry, if we couldn't grab your call. I tried to get you in, Vern. Call back tomorrow. Hey, thank you so much for joining me today on the Doug Stewart Show. Shouts out to the Tree of Life, the producer to the show. Thank you, Tree. Waterhead Walter, Dwayne Vasson, Gerald Oliveri, my engineers for the show. Thank y'all so much. I really do appreciate it. Hey, man. I really do appreciate it, man. I mean, seriously, on a serious tip, thank you so much for tuning in and supporting the Doug Stewart Show, man. A couple of ways that you can support the show. One, you can contract us to do an ad for you on Fiverr.com, starting at $5, the Doug Stewart Show on Fiverr.com. Also, you can donate $20 or more to the Doug Stewart Show, and we'll send you your very own T-shirt, first run edition. That's the DougStewartShow.com. Click on the donate button, and if you donate $20 or more, we'll send you a T-shirt. Thank you for the support. The weekend of September 26th, we're going to do it real big. We're going to celebrate 1 year. Oh, boy. I mean, gray sky's going to clear up. And maybe I'll sing for you. Yes, Lord. We'll do it again tomorrow. Same Doug Stewart time, same Doug Stewart channel. Peace.